Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool here, back again with another Should You Pull video, and today we're going to be talking about the two units that are going to be released on their banner in about a week from this video's posting, and that is Eda and Celine, as well as their artifacts. Now, before I get started with this video though guys, make sure if you guys aren't already subscribed to subscribe to my channel for updates on when these videos drop. And also I do plan to start streaming on Twitch. I actually plan to start a new series where I'm going to be playing on a fresh account that's completely free to play, and I'm only going to be using 3-star units. Artifacts, I'm trying to think of whether I should use only 3-star as well, but probably will be using 5-star, 4-star artifacts as well, because artifacts are a little bit too important to give up. But for units, for sure, just to test out new units, we are going to be using 3-star only. And if you guys want to follow my Twitch channel, it is in the description box down below. And make sure you guys follow it because I actually plan on streaming a few hours after this video releases. Now that being said, let's get started. So we have Eda here first up, one of the ice mages in the game. So looking at her skills, you're going to see that she is a very control heavy unit. She has an AoE attack on her S3 with the chance to stun, and CR pushes her allies up. Also, when you use a non-attack skill, you can increase the CR of yourself by 20%. Pretty nice because her S2 is going to be an AoE attack, and that will strip 2 buffs, also gives a random amount of CR boost, so it's kind of RNG, and you get skill nullifier, so you can actually soul burn this as well for another turn. And she runs Toggle Hells, right, so she's going to be able to actually soul burn on her first turn if she wants to. And her S1 is a single target defense break chance, which is kind of weird, right, on a control unit. Defense break is not really a debuff that you really want, because you're not really looking to one-shot teams, you're just kind of looking to CC them. So honestly, her kit is a little weird. It would have made more sense for S1 to be like a stun, or a sleep, or anything, like a speed down even, or a restrict, right? But she has a defense break. She did get buffed recently, but unfortunately, even after the buffs, guys, I don't think she's that great of a unit. In PvE, she's not really useful. I guess you could use it as a defense breaker and with the strip for like Hell Queen or something like that. But I don't really recommend using her because her damage is really weak. And yeah, they're just better options for strip units and defense break. In fact, you can just use a 3-star unit like Falcon or Clary. She actually does the job way better. She can tank for you, she can hold Aureus, stuff like that, for Hell Queen specifically. And for PvP, which she was kind of made for, she's also pretty weak. She is kind of supposed to be a control unit like I said, but you know, controlling is very hard because there's a lot of cleansers in the game right now, especially for World Arena. You have Mediator Cowrick, you have Maid Chloe, you have Amelia. There's just too many good cleansers, and a lot of them run super high effect resist, so it's going to be pretty hard to get her with a lot of effectiveness, bulk, and speed. And also, there's just better control units than her. Honestly, you can use like Sage Ball, you can use ML Araminta, even Spez is better, right? There's just a lot better options. Peyra is also a better controller, and it's just a way better unit. And she's also not limited like Eda. So yeah, Eda, easy skip, guys. I don't think she's that great. She is pretty weak in my opinion, even after the buffs, and I do think she needs more buffs to get some more help. Next up, running alongside Eda's banner next week as well, we're going to have Celine. So Celine recently got an exclusive equipment, but let's go over her skills real quick. So her S3 is going to be a basically cleanse on herself, and she gets evasion, and then she also will basically just do its really hard hitting single target attack, and she will heal from it as well. She also can soul burn this for more damage. It does a lot of damage, guys. Her S2 is going to be another single target attack. Basically, whenever an enemy uses a non-attack skill, like AOL's S2, CDOM's S3, Emilia's S2, stuff like that, she will actually just counter-attack, and, you know, damage sharing effects are going to be ignored, so that includes Aureus, Peyra's escort buff that's new to the game will also be ignored, and she can do a lot of damage with this, usually one-shot squishies. And with the exclusive equipment, you'll see there's 2 for S2. You can either give her stealth, you can also give her increased damage, which will also attack the enemy with the highest attack, which is really nice because it can be used as an anti-cleave method, which is probably the most common use for Celine at the moment. And you also have her S3, which is not used as much, which is only just a 10% damage boost, which is, in my opinion, the worst of the 3. And you'll see that the exclusive equipment also gives you crit chance, which makes her a lot easier to gear, because you can just invest fully into damage into her, and she'll definitely be one-shotting any squish unit in the game. Next, we also have her S1. Basically, it's just a basic attack that does more damage. When you crit with it, it will just do, you know, have higher scaling with crit, so pretty hard-hitting unit. Is she good? So in PvE, similar to Eda, she's not that great. She's mostly going to be a PvP unit, And like I said, she's going to be pretty much just an answer for cleave. You just pick her into units that have, you know, non-attack skills, right? So it'll work on maybe Chloe's S3, it'll work on like Amelia's S2 and S3, it'll work on Cdom, but you want to pick her into relatively squishy teams that are trying to cleave you, because she won't be one-shotting tanks with their S2 for sure. But on squishy units like Cdom, if Cdom S3, she's going to die. She's also very, very good into auxiliary lots when he used to be meta. Although you don't really see him anymore, but if for some reason people pick him in World Arena, you can use her as an anti-A-lots unit, anti-cleave unit there. But that being said, she's not that worth it in my opinion. She used to be good for like a few months when she first got reworked, but nowadays you don't really see people cleaving like that. You don't see Challenger Dominion A-lots that much anymore. And honestly, if you put her in a defense team, she's not that great. And no one's going to put Challenger Dominion A-lots or like any cleave units in a defense team. So you can't really bring it into offense. So she's mostly going to be used in World Arena as a counter pick. But, you know, people aren't going to draft like that. That will make Celine very strong unless you're in lower ranks. So I don't really recommend picking her up. Her gear requirements are pretty low, but she's honestly not worth gearing, because you're never going to really ever use her. I haven't seen a Celine in World Arena in so long, even though she's not like a terrible unit. So yeah, I don't recommend picking her up, guys. She did get her exclusive equipment a while ago, which made her a bit stronger, but even so, I don't think she's that great. And now let's talk about the artifacts. And here we have Eda's artifact, Twilight Calamity. Honestly, just straight up, this artifact is pretty doo-doo, not that great. First off, it gives you effectiveness on yourself, which is nice, I guess, because you really want effectiveness on Eda. But you're most likely gonna want to hold Toggle Hells for that soul burn, so you can soul burn her on the first turn. And also you have another effect where you're boosting your crit chance of all your allies for 10%, which might sound nice. But the thing is, if you rely on an artifact that boosts the team's crit chance, right, you can only really draft those units with the person that's holding this artifact. And I'm saying this because if you're running a specific team, then you're going to run them on 90% crit chance instead of 100, right? Because you want maximum value out of this artifact. And if that's the case, you're going to have to run the same team composition for every single battle, which is very, very annoying, because in Arena offense and Guild Wars offense, you're going to have to swap around your gear a lot if you don't want to run those units over and over together, because let's be honest, you can't run the same team into every single defense. It's just not possible. There's going to be counters, and you're going to have to slot in new units. So I think this artifact's not that worth it. Anything that boosts crit chance of your teammates is kind of hard to use, even though it sounds in theory very, very strong. You're going to have to swap around your gear eventually, and you can't always bring the same team into every single unit. So for 240 powder, definitely not worth buying. Even if you pull this randomly, it's not that great of an artifact, so don't worry about getting it. Just run Toggle Hells on her, and honestly, not a lot of mages use this anyways. And now we have Celine's artifact, Secret Art Storm Sword. So this artifact's actually pretty interesting. It got buffed a really long time ago, but this is actually pretty good. It's a very, very good like X factor, because you can run this on basically any thief that's decently fast, and it works similar to Celine's S2, where you're going to be kind of CR pushing yourself instead of doing an attack, and you also will get an attack buff. And yeah, it can surprise a lot of people. You can run this on basically any thief, and whenever a non-attack skill gets used, which there's a lot of in the game, you can actually, you know, cut in front and really mess up cleave teams without having Celine. So you can run this on, like, I don't know, like a fast Tempest Surin, right? And then what can happen is people would think that they can cleave through your Tempest Surin, which is usually the case. But if you run this on Tempest Surin and someone boosts with like a Cdom or, you know, like Peyra's non-attack skill, right? Then what happens is your thief, your fast Tempest Surin that's holding this artifact, can actually CR push herself, cut, then S3 and silence everyone, and then their cleave is screwed. So this artifact's kind of, it's really fun to use, but yeah, it's kind of hard to use as well, and it's a little bit niche. So I wouldn't recommend buying this for 240 powder. It is a nice artifact, but I don't think it really is worth the 240. If you get some extra copies though from randomly pulling from the 10 summon event though, it's nice to hold on to, because it is really fun to use if you want to build a unit that is designed to surprise people in World Arena and just cut cleave teams and, you know, just disrupt them. Now, that being said, just to summarize, guys, I think nothing is worth it on these two banners, which is kind of a shame, but it's also pretty good because you guys get to save your bookmarks, because we've been having a bookmark massacre recently because so many good banners, right, and so many good artifacts. People are definitely running low on powder as well, but keep in mind, I do expect Diane's banner. She was supposed to run like 2 months ago, but she hasn't run yet, so I do expect Diane's banner, which is a limited Soul Weaver, to run soon. She's pretty good in PvE. You can use it as a general purpose Soul Weaver. She's also good in Banshee one-shot. She has a 3-turn attack buff. She's also very good in PvP as well. She's not very good, but still decent in my opinion. It's hard to use in the meta. So yeah, I hope this video helped you out, guys, and as always, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I said at the beginning of the video to make sure to follow my Twitch channel, because I do plan to start streaming again, and we're going to be streaming some Epic 7 content, talking about, you know, just life in general, and maybe some even other games as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.